Every time I've talked to men about getting friend zoned, it always comes back to one of two things. They are introverted and afraid of women, shy, nice guys. And for those guys, you have to read No More Mr. Nice Guy. You're a people pleaser, and that's gross and creepy. Women are attracted to men who are a strong structure, like an oak tree, something we can go to, rely on, lean on. You can provide and you can protect. But when you're this sleazy, wheezy little doormatty guy, we can't count on you, and now we're responsible for you. And the only people we want to be responsible for are our children or our pets. You're not a project, you're not a pet, you're not a child, you're an adult man. Act like one. You have to go to the man places and learn how to be an oak tree. The second reason that men withhold their sexuality and get friend zoned is that they think their sexuality is a cause of pain for women. Their sexuality is a sword that hurts women. Women don't want it. Women will reject them, abandon them, and hate them. And every man I've ever talked to comes back to his mom. It's always about mom. Mom was hurt by men through sex. Sex caused pain to mom. And mom may even say, don't be like that asshole of your dad who cheated on me. Don't be like these guys who just fuck me and leave me. Men just use me for sex and leave me. You know? And the same will go with anger too. Men who've seen anger used in a violent way rather than a useful way. And you were a child, you didn't know, and you thought sex is pain, sex is aggression, anger is aggression, because you never learned that anger can be a tool for growth and challenge. Sex can be a tool of pleasure. And that's why I'm here to show you why you withhold your sexual energy. So many men think it's creepy if I show sexual interest. I struggle with this myself, so I get it. I struggled with this when I took my coaching course 10 years ago on marketing to be a coach, and they were trying to get us, they said the first thing we had to do was find a target audience, like who we wanted to help, our ideal client. And through all the stuff, everyone who's ever told me was to be a sex coach for women. And I had a really hard time talking to women about sex because my mom, I felt the energy of my mom in every woman, and my mom hates men, she hates sex. And I thought that by talking about sex, women would be repulsed with me, angry with me. I wrote a book called The Fuck List. I had a bunch of bookmarks made, and I wrote the book for women. And everywhere I went, I would hand these bookmarks out to women about the fuck list. And I would feel so much internal anguish and struggle with it, pain. Like I would offend these women. Half the women actually were craving my book, and half the women were embarrassed. But it was my own inner stuff. So I can see why you would feel that way. And it wasn't until the retreat when they had me role play with a woman that was sitting next to me and offer her my coaching for women, sex coaching for women. And it suddenly hit me that in every woman, I saw my mom who hated men, and I was afraid of insulting my mom. And as soon as I realized it, everything was just unleashed. Because I saw what was holding me back. So it was just gone. And that's what I'm hoping will happen here for you. You are acting like a little boy who doesn't want to offend his mother. And I want you to know that men have used sex to hurt women. Men who hook up with me and leave me are using sex to hurt me. They don't mean to, but that's how they're hurting me. When you guys just have sex with women who are sensitive, emotional women like me, I mean, there are women who have their hearts closed off, who can just go around fucking. I think that they're heartless and disembodied. That's my opinion. Women like me can't just hook up. We need something of value. I need money or a relationship. I get feelings. If it's not money, I get feelings. Usually. Not every time. If the sex is really bad, I don't want to see you again. That's happened too. But anyway, you can use sex to hurt a woman by using her for sex and ghosting her, raping her, having sex that's too rough, expecting her to do things in bed that she doesn't want to do, humiliating her through sex, having her do things she doesn't want to do, violating her boundaries. However, sex is the greatest tool of pleasure and connection in a relationship. Sex differentiates your romantic relationship from every other relationship this woman will ever have with her friends, parents, colleagues, workers, siblings, children. Your sexual relationship is the glue that holds you together. Without that, you're just a girlfriend. Sex bonds you. Sex is a tool of pleasure and delight into a wondrous world, and you have got to bring your fucking aggression into it. The empathy you have for women is good. I want you to keep that, but you've got to blend it with your sexual aggression. We want to feel that. We want your sexual aggression energy, your tender aggression. That's the kind of sex I like, and that most women like. Your tender aggression, like you're sensual and you're dominant. You have got to own your sexual energy and take a woman to places she's never been. And you can't do that when you're afraid of your sexual energy. And you have to get in touch with your anger. Anger can be used to hurt a woman, abuse a woman, physically and all that. But anger can also be used for boundaries and telling a woman you have boundaries and standards, and that's hot. Unfortunately, in our society, has done some great things for women, but a lot of bad things too. We have decimated the spaces for men where men can be like men. I mean, it's good that I'm telling you this because I'm telling you how I feel as a woman, but I don't know how to help you get there as a man. I don't know how to do that. The spaces for men are being decimated because they're being labeled as politically incorrect. And that's a shame. The Boy Scouts, the union places, the all-male teams, the all-male clubs, are being decimated. We need men's spaces for men to learn from each other, but I don't know. Anyway, if you're withholding your sexual energy, a woman is not going to feel sexually attracted to you, and you have to bring your sexual energy to create a relationship. If you want a woman to dump the other guy she's fucking for you, you better have a damn good dick game. That means you're confident, you bring your sexuality with you, and you have strong boundaries. And she's never going to want to fuck anyone else. Because when a woman's heart is involved and she's got good dick, the other guys just fade into oblivion. And you won't even have to worry about the other guys she's fucking because they will be a distant memory. Yeah. Own your sexuality. Now, there are aggressive ways to be sexual, which is catcalling, or there's slimy ways to be sexual, like trying to slide into a DM and telling a woman she's beautiful, and that's just all creepy and gross. Own it in your body. You ask a woman on a date. Own it in your body. That's the best way to show sexual interest. Tell her she's freaking gorgeous. You're fucking hot. You're fucking beautiful in that dress. You're so damn gorgeous in that dress. God, those earrings look amazing on you. Get in her proximity. When you're walking, put your hand on her shoulder. Just touch her earrings. Just kiss her on the neck. Don't kiss her on the cheek. Kiss her on the neck or on the lips. Put your hand on her lower back. Put your arm around her when you're walking. Even hold hands. If she pulls away, she's not interested in you. Fine, it's good to know. Fine, next. I want more guys to have dick game. I am all for dick game. I'm all for it. A woman who's interested in you is going to let you touch her on the shoulder like this. And that's a good way actually to gauge a woman's interest in you, is if you show sexual interest and she brushes it off, she is not interested. And that's going to keep you from over-investing in a woman with your time. You put your hand on her shoulder. If she doesn't like it, she's going to pull away in some way or act uncomfortable. Notice her reaction. Maybe she likes it. When I like a guy, I love when he puts his hand on me. You know, hand on my lower back. Don't go grabbing her breasts or do weird stuff. Touch her in non-sexual areas. Comment on her looks in a non-sexual way. Those are all the tips I have because I haven't dated anyone in 9 freaking years. Those are the only tips I have. That's as far as I got. So if you want other tips, maybe there's some people in the comments who can help you out more because that's all I got. I do know this though. If a guy doesn't show his sexual interest, I think of him as a weak fucking rag. I get disgusted and repulsed. But women are repulsed by signs of weakness. You slide into my DMs instead of asking me on a date. You text me rather than picking up the phone. You sit back and don't show any physical interest. That's all gross. Don't do that. Show your sexual interest, and if she doesn't reciprocate, next. That's what you do. Same thing as opening the door for a woman. Some women don't like that. Too bad for them. Next. You know, I want to create a world where men can be men again. Another thing, the reason that men's wages have been flat since the 70s is because women are now in the workforce. You have twice as many people in the labor force, and now twice as many people need to work. Feminism has not been all good. I am all for the traditional roles of men versus women, and transsexual women are not women. They might have a pussy, they might have breasts, but there's a lot more to a woman than a body. It's the way we scan the environment, it's our brain, it's in our DNA. And we crave your sexual energy. There's nothing better, any of my girlfriends will tell you, there's nothing better than like really hot dominant sex. Well, how are you going to give that to me if you're afraid of your sexuality? How are you going to ever fuck me if you're afraid of your sexuality? You got to get that right. I don't know how to help you with that. Hopefully showing you where it came from will be a good tip. I hope I'm being compassionate and kind. Sometimes I get mad. Like, I get mad at weak men. I try not to, but I get mad. Like, if I were going out on a date on a guy and he was afraid to touch me, I would be mad and grossed out and repulsed, and I would never go out with him again. Never. Never, never, never. That would be the only date that would ever happen. No matter how good looking he was or how much money he had, none of that would matter. I would just be repulsed. That's where a lot of you guys are getting friend zoned, I think. It's your mom's. And it's not your fault. You didn't know, but I'm here to tell you. I think I talked long enough. That's the end of my video. Drop your comments below.